True crime captivates us because it delves into the darkest corners of humanity, but some cases go beyond the norm. They remain unsolved, leaving us with more questions than answers. Today we'll dive into 3 infamous cases: a killer who taunted the world with cryptic messages, a Hollywood dream turned nightmare, and a disappearance that gripped the entire globe. And these stories remind us that some mysteries may never have closure. Hello, back to Left and Past, and welcome to another video. Today I have 3 true crime cases that are still unsolved. But before we get into it, if you're not already, make sure to subscribe down below and turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I post a new video. And it also helps me out a whole lot, so it's a win-win for the both of us. But with all that said, let's get into this video. Our first case takes us back to the late 1960s in Northern California. A shadowy figure known only as the Zodiac Killer terrorized the region with a string of brutal murders and chilling messages sent to the media. The Zodiac Killer is officially linked to 5 murders, but he claimed responsibility for 37. And to this day, nobody really knows the true number of victims or his identity. And the Zodiac's letters were just as haunting as his crimes. He sent detailed descriptions of the murders along with ciphers that supposedly contained his identity. And these letters were addressed to newspapers demanding that they be published or he would strike again. One of his most famous ciphers, the 340 cipher, stumped investigators for decades. It wasn't until 2020 that a group of amateur cryptologists cracked it, but the decoded message revealed no new clues. The Zodiac's methods were chillingly calculated. At Lake Berryessa, he approached a young couple enjoying a picnic, tied them up, and then stabbed them repeatedly. And afterwards, he called the police to confess. But at other crime scenes, he simply vanished without a trace, only leaving behind his cryptid symbols. And over the years, law enforcement and independent investigators have zeroed in on multiple suspects. Arthur Lee Allen was one of the most notorious. He fit the physical description, owned a watch with the Zodiac symbol, and had a dark history. Yet there wasn't enough evidence to convict him. In 2021, a group of investigators claimed to have identified the Zodiac as a man named Gary Francis Post, a house painter with a violent history. But the claim is controversial and unproven. And to this day, the Zodiac's true identity remains a mystery. His crimes and cryptic letters continue to haunt investigators and true crime lovers alike. Was he a twisted genius or simply someone who got lucky to evade justice? You tell me. Next, we turn to one of Hollywood's most infamous cases, the murder of Elizabeth Short, better known as the Black Dahlia. In 1947, Elizabeth was a 22-year-old aspiring actress trying to make her mark in Los Angeles. But instead of achieving stardom, she became the victim of one of the most gruesome murders in history. On the morning of January 15, 1947, her body was discovered in a vacant lot. The sight was horrifying. She had been bisected at the waist, her body drained of blood, her face mutilated, with a grotesque smile carved into her cheeks. The gruesome nature of this crime shocked the nation. And when I first read through this case, I cringed due to the graphic nature of this murder. It's just terrible, and even just imagining that is just terrible. Elizabeth quickly became the subject of sensational headlines. The media painted her as a mysterious femme fatale, though many of these claims were fabricated. In reality, Elizabeth was a young woman struggling to survive in a city full of broken dreams. The LAPD questioned over 150 suspects, including doctors, former lovers, and Hollywood insiders. One suspect, Dr. George Hoddle, became a focal point in later years when his son, Steve Hoddle, claimed that his father was the killer. And Steve even found evidence linking his father to this crime, including incriminating photos and recordings, yet no charges were ever brought. The Black Dahlia murder remains the symbol of Hollywood's dark underbelly. Despite countless theories and investigations, the truth behind Elizabeth Short's death has never been uncovered. Her case continues to intrigue and terrify all who hear it. Our final case takes us to 2007 and the picturesque seaside town of Praia da Luz, Portugal. 3-year-old Madeline McCann was on vacation with her family when she vanished from their holiday apartment. And what happened next sparked one of the largest and most controversial missing person investigations in history. On the night of May 3rd, Madeline's parents, Kate and Gary McCann, left their children asleep in the apartment while they dined at a nearby restaurant. And when they returned to check on the children, Madeline was gone. The only clue was an open window and reports of a suspicious man seen nearby. The Portuguese police launched an extensive search, but as the days turned into weeks, the case became more complex. Some suspected a botched burglary, while others believed Madeline was abducted by a trafficking ring. And the McCann family started to face intense media scrutiny. with even allegations they were involved somehow. In recent years, attention has turned to Christian Bruckner, a German man with a history of violent crimes. And authorities believe he was in the area at the time of Madeleine's disappearance, but so far no concrete evidence has linked him to the case. And Madeleine's case remains open, with investigators pursuing leads to this day. Her parents continue to hope for answers, but after nearly 2 decades, the truth remains elusive. And these 3 cases are more than just mysteries. They're tragedies that left families and communities devastated. The Zodiac Killer, the Black Dahlia, and Madeleine McCann's disappearance show us that sometimes justice is out of reach. But the questions remain. Will these cases ever be solved, or are they mysteries destined to be left in the past? Okay, so we all for today, guys. I hope you did enjoy that video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. Also, subscribe down below and turn on post notifications if you haven't already, because it's free and it helps me out a lot, and you'll never miss out on another video, so it's a win-win for the both of us. But I hope you did enjoy those 3 unsolved true crime cases, because I definitely enjoyed telling them for you guys. I hope they will eventually get solved, because they are just so tragic and extremely, extremely sad. So I hope they do eventually get solved. But with all that said, I hope y'all have a great day. But these 3 true crime cases are left in the past.